Yo, what's going on? Okay, let's see. We should be going live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I should kill my emails. What does that mean? Anyway, all right. So I'm super tired today. Um, I know it's not the right way to start off a training session, but I was up since 2 o'clock. I'm like super jet lagged. Up since two. Already had an 18-hour day. Um, but we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. So I am going to be finishing this BMW this weekend and painting it probably early next week. So I'm going to go over the front bumper cover and the hood with you quickly tonight, show you what the game plan is so you could actually take these strategies and use it to what you're working on. All right, same game plan. I'm going to run through, give you an overview of what kind of papers we're going to use, what methods, what we're going to, everything step by step quickly, and then we're going to get into some Q&A. Does that sound good? All right, so for those of you just getting on tonight, if you just want to type in where you're from, what's up, Eric? Crestview, Florida. Recognize some names. Now you know I'm back in Texas here. I am... Like I said, I was in Japan. I flew to Boston to do my speak at Harvard, and now I am in Texas in my shop, and you can see the beautiful farm view that I have in back of me. Beautiful day today. It was almost 100 degrees today, and it was pretty hot. But luckily, I was in my house AC. I woke up at freaking 2 o'clock this morning. I couldn't go back to sleep. Just started working, ate breakfast at 6, and then just working all day, doing a bunch of small stuff. I wanted to get into my, I'm updating the membership site of my car selling program, and I'm almost done with it, so I got another day to do that. Anyway, so here we go. There's the BMW right here. And for those of you just getting on, just type in really quickly where you're from. All right, I'm going to try to make this an interactive training. Eric, thank you very much. My daughter, my family, they're still in Japan right now. I'm going to go back for another couple of weeks and get them. So I leave here on August 23rd, and then I'll be in Japan for another 3 weeks or so, hanging out. We're going to go check out some hot springs and do all kinds of, just have some fun. And then I'll be back here again after that. So... my traveling is not done. John David, F1 VIP member, Wheeling, awesome. Ohio, Iowa, Georgia, California, awesome. Thanks guys for getting on. All right, so like I said, we are going to go over, talk about this BMW project really quickly. Let me turn some lights on quickly, get some more lighting in here. Feels good to be home, feels good. You know, I had to knock out a couple things. I only got 17 days left here to bang shit out. Like, I'm going to be painting this BMW front end. We don't have to do the whole car because the rest of the car is in great condition. No rock chips, nothing. Just the front is a little chipped up. Like, it was painted before, and we could see some of the chipping here. Some of the spider webbing, they call it, okay? And I'll get a close-up in just a bit. Maybe we could see some of that. Okay, you can see the chipping, the scuffing on the very bottom here. Okay, see if we get a little bit closer. Okay, spider webbing is kind of when you hit it and the paint cracks, kind of, okay? So this kind of stuff, of course, all of this is going to be on HD video when we do the official shoot. But right now I'm streaming off 360p to get a good video footage here because we're doing this live. We got some more of that down in here a little bit. And then the front was painted before. This bumper cover was painted. You could see some of the orange peely in the clear coat here. Okay, you could see all the rock chips. Okay. A lot of rock chips, and then we got a little scuff here on the side. Not too bad. Not bad at all. This is all easy. Couple of hours of job here, and the whole front could be prepped up. All right, and then on the hood, we're going to also paint the hood. We have rock chips in the hood. Okay, a couple in here. These front grills I'm going to pull out. I got to order a brand new BMW emblem. You can see some of the rock chipping in here. So we're going to get rid of all the rock chipping. Okay, and in the middle of the hood, right around here, I don't know if you see it. Okay, I don't know if the computer can spot that out, the laptop camera, because I can't get the angle. I can't see what you guys are seeing. It's pretty hard. But there's a dent right here. So we're going to fix that dent, fix all these little chips on the front, and we're going to paint and clear the whole hood. Whole hood is going to be painted, clear coated, and looking like new, and also our front bumper cover. So the whole front of the car is going to look great, and when it's done, what we're going to do is buff out the rest of the car to bring the paint shine back, to bring the brilliance back from this red, because we're going to, basically just paint the hood and blend it. So it's going to look really nice when we're done. First things first, what we're going to do is I got some 240 grit on my orbital sander. Okay, I'm using 240 grit. You could probably use like a 220, but I wouldn't go much more than that. All right, if you use a 150, you're going to cut really quick. You could use a 150, 180, but I got a 220 here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to sand out all these chip marks, the spider webs, get everything all smooth and feathered out with this 220 grit DA. All right, once I do that, I'm going to get it flat. I'm going to cut all the orange peel on the front here. Okay, we're going to keep it all flat like this. We're going to get all the orange peel, take that out, and any rock chips like in the corners like this, we're just going to feather all those out. Okay, same thing with the hood. So we're going to use this 240, 220. What is this, 220 or 240? It's 240. All right, so I got 240 here. And we're going to use that to take out all the imperfections, smoothen everything down nice. Once that's done, we're going to mix up some of our 2K filler primer. Okay, then we're going to give that all a coat with the filler primer. We're going to use some glaze putty if we have to. We're going to glaze all the areas that need it. Of course, this area, same thing. This is probably definitely going to need to be glazed, right? We're going to feather that out with our 240, prime it and glaze it, and then reprime it again. Once that's all done, we're going to 400 it all down. Everything's going to be 400 it down, ready for our base coat and our clear coat. So that is the game plan. And I don't really like to clear coat headlights. I am going to do the headlight tactic on this. There's two ways to do it. You could buff them out or clear coat them. I don't like to clear coat them unless they're really, really old and you're getting rid of the car. I like to just buff them out. Like I would sand this with 2000 grit and I would buff the hell out of them so they look good. Because if you clear coat, you got to worry about them peeling, especially if you're keeping a car for a couple of years. You can risk the chance of them peeling. Then the headlights just look like shit again. But if you buff them out and in 3 to 5 years from now they get dull again, just buff them out again. So I personally like buffing my headlights out. They look just as good and they come out just as nice without the clear coat. Plus, you don't have to mix and spray clear coat. You know, it's done in one shot. So that's the game plan. So after we paint our hood, these grills are going to come out. Paint the hood, paint the bumper cover. I'm going to do the headlights, and we're going to buff the whole car out and detail it, make it look really, really nice. And I am going to start the bumper cover probably half day on Saturday. I got something to do on Saturday. And then hopefully finish it off on Sunday, get it ready for paint, and then paint it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or probably middle of next week sometime. And so what I'm going to do is, like I said, We're gonna do most of the body work on the car, and then we're gonna take the bumper cover off. Okay, so I don't have to worry about masking so much. I got to take the wheels off so I can take the wheel well cover off it right in here in the front, so I can take our bumper cover off. Then we're going to paint the bumper cover off of the car. This way we can get underneath and get a good paint job on it. All right, the hood's going to be painted on the car. Then we assemble everything, and that's the game plan. So you guys got any questions? You guys getting the game plan so far? Was everything that I just said pretty clear? You guys liking that? Let me know. Give me some feedback. All right. Again, if I sound a little low on energy today, it's because I've been up since 2 o'clock in the morning and I've already had a 18-hour day. So I'm a little tired. What's up, North Carolina, Hank Scott? Brazil. What's up, Brazil? I will not be using a epoxy primer. I'm just going to be using a filler primer. Epoxy primer is more over metal. All right? So that is the game plan for this BMW project. And for all of you VIP members in here, we are going to have all this done in high quality HD video. I got my video guy. He's been making some amazing videos for me behind the scenes. And I can't wait to start leaking some of these videos out to you. But all the members, you're going to get all this shot in HD camera, and it's going to look really, really awesome. Full detail. I'm going to go over exactly what I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. And when this sucker's done, I will buff it out, detail it, and I'm actually thinking of selling it. We're probably going to be getting rid of it. I really didn't want to sell it. I wanted to hold it. I'm not selling it because I need the money, just for other reasons right now. Because it's in 4 years it would be a 20-year-old classic, because it's a 2000. So 2020 would officially made it a classic, but I may get rid of it. I'm probably gonna make money on it, guaranteed. But it's just some things are coming up, and I may have to just get rid of it. All right. So, what's going on? You guys liking it so far? Give me some feedback. Hi, I need to send you a photo for my question about my car. Send me an email address. Thank you. Matos. You could actually, if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you could reply back to the newsletter. And we can help you out there. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take some auto body and paint Q&A, general Q&A. And we will go from there. I'm not going to stay on. I'm not going to be on here all night tonight. I just wanted to go over the game plan with you on this, and do some Q&A quick. Here, you could lost feed. You could go to this URL to get on the newsletter, David. I'm going to be using House of Color clear coat. And I'll probably be using a Shopline base coat. But clear coat, I'm pretty sure I have enough clear coat. Let's take a look. Yeah, plenty clear coat. So I will be using the Cosmic House of Color US CO1 system here for my clear coat. This is a very, very good clear coat. Very low dieback, which means it doesn't get dull after it cures for about a week. It'll stay shiny. So that's the game plan. I haven't bought the paint yet. I will worry about getting the paint next week when I'm ready to paint it, you know, a day or two before I'm ready to blast it. Other than that, that's the game plan. I hope to have this sucker done before I leave, for sure, because I want to have all the video footage. So while I'm in Japan, we can have my video guys just make some killer sick training videos out of it. That paint system costs about, I think I got it on sale for about 200 to 230 or something like that. 200, 220 in that area. USCO1, go look it up. And with the base coat, I will probably be using a shop line base coat. What is the best way to patch holes in panels from removed badges, old mirrors, patch, fill, and finish? Oh, I usually just grind the area down. You could go down to metal with a little grinder, or scuff it up with 80 really good, and just fill it with a little bit of body filler. I mean, the hole is so tiny, it's not bad. So you could just put some body filler in it, sand it, prime it, glaze it if you have to. But I've filled holes many times with just body filler. It's not a big deal. Something little 1/8 hole like that, it's not going to make a big difference. A 16th hole. All right. Yeah, Hank, it's not a bad clear at all. I love the clear. Nope, I don't reduce this clear. It's a 4-to-1 mixture, and you don't reduce it. And I've painted, what did I paint so far with that? I painted the Miata, and that's the extra clear I got from the Miata. So, no, I mean, that's a good clear coat. I didn't have to reduce it at all. Is the feed coming in okay for you guys? Yeah, like I said, I just flew in from Japan to Boston and from Boston to Dallas a couple days ago, and I'm like really off on the time zone, the clock zone, because I really had to hustle for the 3 days, for the 3 days that I was in Boston, and I'm just kind of dead. Cool. So anyway, I mean, I want to say thank you, everybody. Thanks for getting on. A lot of people were emailing me, especially VIP members and subscribers are emailing saying I should send a reminder email like a day before we go live or a few hours instead of just an hour. But honestly, sometimes I'm just so busy, you know, I don't have the time to go doing that. So that's why I was able to do it an hour before. But just remember, you know, once I'm on schedule, sometimes I may miss one of these classes because of traveling or just something coming up. But just remember, Auto Body is every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Okay? F1 is How to Buy and Sell Cars is every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Okay? You ever use that clear coat? What's the compound best for headlights? Any compound. Any compound. You ever use that clear called the wet? I just bought a quart for a small project. Never used it. Let me know how it is, Hank. Never used it. What are you painting? All right, guys, so we got another 10 minutes or so. Let's do some quick Q&A. If you have any Q&A on Auto Body, anything at all, just start typing it in the chat right now. Type it in here really quickly. This way I can get to it. I'm only going to be on for another 11 minutes or so, and then I'm going to call it a day. Hope you guys liked it. Click the like button. Share it. Tell your friends and family about this if you know anybody that's interested in learning how to do auto body and paint. Come on the live Q&As here. Okay, how well do you think the paint will match up on this? I think it's going to match up pretty good because I am going to have my paint girl match it up for me. She's going to come, or I may just drive the car over there before I take it apart to the paint shop, and I'm going to have her mix up some paint. She's going to match it up for me. So I'm not really one of those guys who mixes paints, you know, in the back. I have the shops do that for me. the paint shops. So either what you could do is drive the car down, they can put a machine on it and make the exact same color, or sometimes it's easy to take the gas cap off. You take the gas cap off, you bring them this, and they'll match the paint. But I usually like to try to give them a panel that's close to where you're painting. So if I was painting this quarter panel, the gas cap would be perfect, or the door. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to go there and tell her to like clean this area up around here and match it for me. So this way we can match the hood. And of course, I don't think I'm going to get that close and basing to the lines, right? I'm going to base the bodywork area and just dust this area. I'm not going to paint this. Okay, I'm going to dust it and then clear it. Of course, this is all going to be painted, right? But I think it's going to match up really good, especially after you buff it out and you detail it. Like this is going to be painted. This is going to be fresh paint in here, right? The hood. So I would buff this bottom part of the fender out really well. Buff this out. Maybe I'll even paint this. This kind of looks a little dull looking. Maybe I'll paint this. I was thinking of making this black, but I don't want to customize it too much if I'm going to sell it. If somebody buys it, they're going to be a car collector. You know, it only has 38,000 miles on it, so 2,000. So it's a really good car, but I may just get rid of it. Okay, so let's see. I finally found another cap for my S10 that I'm doing. Awesome. What's the process for covering single stage rattle can paint going to base coat clear coat? That rattle can shit can give you problems, so I would really sand off that rattle can paint. Put a good 2K primer on it, and then do your base coat clear coat. Are you close to Pete from my friend Pete? I don't think he's that far. I tried contacting him a couple times. I don't think he likes me, so he doesn't reply back. I contacted him like over YouTube, and he like totally ignored me. So I don't know if he doesn't want. I don't know. So I gave up on that. What do you think about Plasti Dip? I think Plasti Dip is cool if you like the flat look, or if you're looking for like a cheap style paint job. You know, it's totally different than professional automotive finishes, that's for sure. But I think Plasti Dip is cool if you're doing custom stuff and you want an easy way to put some flat, or they're coming out with some gloss stuff now, but it's not hard paint, you know, it's not like you can't like buff that stuff out, right? Looking to hide graphic lines on bike, laid 2 coats of clear, been 2 days. Should I hit it with 1500 wet and flow coat? Yeah, absolutely, Patrick. That sounds good. Yep. Hit it with like 1500 or even 1200 and lay like 3 coats of clear on it. Got a hard top for my Miata that was rattle canned and the job was not to standards. Yeah, make sure you get that rattle can paint off because that's just shit stuff. And you can't have a chemical reaction when you shoot base coat over that. So make sure you seal it, okay? Get rid of the rattle can paint, sand it all off, and put a good 2K primer on it, 400 that, and then give it a fresh coat of paint. What's the difference between wet and dry sanding on paint? There's no real difference. It's less dusty if you wet sand. Dry sanding, you could kind of see what you're cutting a little easier. But wet sanding is good for finishing. I like wet sanding. I think you get a cleaner cut with wet sanding as a final sand. So when I'm doing my final sanding for any of my paint jobs, I like to basically finish by water sanding. And you could see that you're getting it flat. There's reasons of using both. And in VIP, I talk about why I like to use dry sanding in certain areas and why I like to wet sand certain times. So it's pretty much the same stuff, but there are times that you want to use dry versus wet and vice versa. Eric, you're too much competition, so there's an answer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I wanted to be cool with him and talk to him and maybe go to his shop one day or have him come but he's just, I don't know. He's like doesn't want to talk to me. Can you do the primer work in rattle cans? Well, not really, because most of rattle can primer is all 1K, meaning you spray it on and the solvents inside of it evaporate and then it dries. It's 1K. Unless you can get a good 2K rattle can primer, then I wouldn't do it. And there is 2K rattle can primer. I just don't mess with it because I got the mixtures here and I just use my spray gun. Got here late. Tony, you look beat, man. Get a good name. Oh, man. Dude, I'm tired. I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, and I've already had an 18-and-a-half-hour day. And it's only 8:30 at night here. I'm tired as shit. Like, I'm still kind of jet-lagged, but I just knew I had to get on tonight. I didn't want to miss this. I fucking totally missed yesterday's. Excuse my mouth. And I do cuss a lot. Naturally, I'm a cusser, right? I cuss like a mother. But I try to keep clean on my YouTube videos, you know, because I know sometimes younger people watch and you got your dads with kids around. So I try to have respect for you guys out there. My data's slow on my phone tonight. Buffering, also going to have to watch later. Aluminum hood, should I use epoxy primer? Yes, you could use epoxy. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. That would actually work out perfect. I remember I did a Nissan 300ZX and I had a hood that I had to do over and it was aluminum. It's an aluminum hood and I epoxy primered that sucker, then killed it. So what's going on? Not as much as my friend Pete. What do you mean, Hank? Okay, let's see. So yeah, let's wrap it up. We got a couple more minutes. Let's wrap up the Q&A. Keep throwing them at me, and I will call it a night. I think I'm gonna take a shower and just freaking chill. I'm tired. I really am tired. 3M Platinum Filler. Would you recommend? Yeah, I don't think it's bad stuff. I mean, oh, yeah, he's very bad with cussing. So, yeah, I mean, that's his crew, his crowd, his audience, right? Would you lay 2K over epoxy primer? Yes, you can. You could lay a 2K primer over epoxy primer, but remember, you could use epoxy primer as a base as well. All right. I should make a show one day where I mimic my friend Pete and just cuss like hell. Wouldn't that be funny? I should do one making fun of him. And like just doing one auto body video it's just cussing like a sailor just like him. I think it would be funny as hell. No, you got a lot on your plate, Tony, but remember, you have to take care of yourself too. Yeah, dude, I always take care of myself. I'm fine. I'm fine. You live once. I'm fine. I just need some sleep. Let's see. That's why I don't watch that dude. Best way to renew panel gaps. Old stuff is falling apart. Best way to renew panel gaps. Old stuff is falling apart. I don't exactly know what you mean. Best way to renew panel gaps. And you would have to trash talk your wife to be like Pete, not my gig. I didn't know he does that. Yeah, and I would never do that, man. My wife is my queen. Sometimes we get in a fight, but you know, you don't take it out on public like that. So that's the game plan, guys. Seams between panels. So yeah, when you're doing your body panels and you're aligning your fenders and your hoods and stuff, you just try to get it. You could space it out with washers if you're working on older cars and classics. I mean, all those cars were spaced out with washers and spacers. I mean, get it as close as possible. You know, if you're doing, obviously my hood's not closed, but if you have something that looks like this, you could measure it with your finger. You could feel how the gap is. And then you go on this side and maybe like this is OEM, right? This is the kind of gapping that you want, right? So you would go to the other side and make sure when you're doing your body work, you're pulling your bumper up or you're adjusting your hood latches to make sure it's even. But my hood is not closed. That's why it's like that. Okay. Budget paint setups for automotive repair student. I want to get some practice. Budget paint setups. So there's a lot of budget paint setups. I mean, go to your local paint shop and get some cheap paint. White is a cheap paint. You know, Mason is cheap. You know, Shopline is a pretty good price. And practice on a bike. Practice on whatever. And for all you new guys, how many new guys on here? Can I just get a quick count before I leave? How many new people on here tonight? First timers? Any first timers on here tonight? Just curious. Anyway, you could start off by downloading the free 85-page Autobody manual here. Not new. Awesome, Izzy. No problem. All right, so I'm going to call it a night, man. It's 31 minutes so far. I'm going to call it a night, and I will be recording this process during the next couple of days, and I will give you a new YouTube live update next week to show you how this thing's looking. Probably going to be done by next week. It'll probably be done by next week. I want to bang it out. Saturday, Sunday, do the body work, shoot it, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday in that area. So hopefully it's done by next week, and I will give you an update. And all the VIP videos for this thing are going to be uploaded to the members area on the member site. So right here, no, I don't have a paint booth. I paint right in the garage, right here, and I get professional finishes. All right. But in the VIP course, we show you how to use paint booths as well if you want to paint in a paint booth. Okay, awesome. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good night. I will talk to you next week. I will update you VIP guys as well. Go here to get a free 85-page Autobody manual if you haven't. And like it, share it, subscribe, and I will see you on next week. All right, guys? Thank you. No problem. Talk soon. Talk next week. Have a good night. Yes, will do. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Cheers, cheers, cheers.